Hello YouTube, this is the Dbtgamer Show, episode 197. Today I'm going to review Ico for the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 2. Let's get started. Okay, let's start this review with the story of this game. Adam, you take this.
Okay, the story for Ico. Where do I go with the story for Ico? Because this is one of those games that doesn't really tell you the story to it. But I will try my best. Basically, you play as Ico, a young boy with horns, which is not a good thing because in the village where he lives, that's a bad thing. He's viewed as some kind of curse because, I don't know, boys with horns, when they reach puberty, they...
Satan!
Yeah, they burst into flames and, I don't know, burn down the crops or something stupid like that. And, yeah, apparently the only way this village has figured out how to get rid of this curse is to take these boys with horns and shove them into this gigantic labyrinthine prison. And I know that because, well, I've looked up the story on the internet. I sure as hell didn't get it from the game. The start of this game basically has Ico on a horse with some dude sat behind him. They drag you into this gigantic labyrinthine prison, stick you in a stone pod and bugger off. That's it. That's all you're given. Only by looking at the story on the internet have I figured out how that he's cursed somehow. In fact, the fact is I know how he's cursed because I've played Shadow of the Colossus, but that's a different story. So, yeah, while he's in this prison, this big stone sort of sarcophagus thing that he gets shoved in, he just sort of rocks it from side to side, it falls off its pedestal and he escapes. Bit of bad architecture there, but he gets knocked out by his escape, and in his little dream he sees a woman in a cage, dripping goo, and then he gets attacked by hands coming out the wall. But and then he wakes up, and he walks two steps into the next room. He finds a girl in a cage, only this time she's not dripping goo, and he doesn't get attacked by the wall. He finds her, Yorda. The only reason why I actually play this game, because she is adorable. And, yeah, basically the whole idea of the game is to escape, using your ingenuity to solve puzzles, like that. And, Yorda's rather remarkable power to open doors by just sort of staring at them.
And also create platforms!
Oh yeah, there's also a couple of bits where you just walk out into the middle of nowhere. If you walk out on your own, you fall to your death. If she walks out with you, there's a platform that appears, and you've got to shout at her because she had a tendency to wander off and stare at birds.
What did I think of the story of the game? I thought the story was good, although there wasn't that much of it.
Yeah, there's very little in ways of narrative for this game, and I suppose it adds to the game's
mystery.
Yeah, but I don't know. It does seem they could have put a bit more effort into, you know, why the fuck am I here kind of thing, instead of making you go to the Wikipedia to find this shit out.
Graphics of the game. Well, I have two opinions on graphics. I've played both the PS2 version and the PS3 version.
They're exactly the bloody same.
Both of them, I have to say, they're both good. Adam, what's your opinion on the graphics of both versions? Although I think you've only played the PS2 version.
Yes, I've only played the PS2 version, but I am looking at the PS3 version right now, and I can honestly say I can't see much of a difference. It might be in HD, but then again, I'm not one of these people who really gives a shit about HD. And she's not going to follow you down there, mate.
Come on. It didn't hurt me.
Piss off.
Alright.
Yeah, she will outright just say, fuck you, if you try to make her do that. If she doesn't want to go somewhere, she will not do it.
Okay, controls for this game. The controls in this game, they're customizable. If you press the start button and go to options, you can pick whatever you want them to be. Just by going to button configuration. So, you choose what
jump, attack, action, release Yorda's hand, call Yorda, or zoom. There you go, that's all you need. Hold type A or hold type B, basically. Hold type A is you hold the button down and you hold onto her hand. Let go of the button, you let go of her hand. Hold type B is, or you press the button once, you hold onto her hand. Press it again, you let go. It's basically a switch or hold system. Take your pick.
Oops. Oh no, I thought the controls were good, apart from the bloody sword fighting. The sword fighting in this game, it's very, very basic. If you're used to playing Zelda or stuff like that, this game just feels very, very simple. Basically, all you can do is hit whilst you're standing with your weapon, or you can jump and do that.
Bear in mind, you are playing a young boy of about, I'd say about 10 years old at best. I think I'm exaggerating there. I think he's about 8, somewhere between 8 and 10. He's got sod all idea how to use a sword. All he knows is you hold the blunt end and hit things with the sharp end. Don't expect epic sword fighting in this game. Even when you get the sword. Don't expect epic sword fighting in this game because, well, you're literally playing a guy who doesn't know much about sword fighting. He's a child. What do you expect?
Music of the game. I thought it was good, although it's mostly atmospheric stuff. What did you think, Adam?
Like I say, most of the music you will encounter is just atmospheric bullshit, and it's only there to add a little bit of depth to the place where you're in, so it doesn't feel so much like a hollowed out, soundless tomb. Oh yeah, the main mechanic of this game is to basically stop these shadowy things from dragging Yoda down these pits. And you do this by you do this by keeping hold of her hand and battering everything to death with sticks. But back to the music. There is actually one bit of good music, and that is only played right at the credits. And it's got rather
decent vocals.
Well, I don't know. I've honestly never been a fan of child singers. But the kid
I thought it was a woman.
A bloody young woman, if it is. Is that, like I say,
I suppose it could be the guy who sings that snowman theme. It could be him.
Snowman theme?
We're walking in the air, we're walking in the moon.
Ali Jones? Oh, come on, when this was made, Ali Jones was about 37.
Alright, maybe I'm wrong then. Go on.
So, yes, it's not Ali Jones, by the way. But, yes, I have to confess, I do think the song that plays over the credits is absolutely wonderful.
Mm.
If I could find it on iTunes, I'd download it and it'd be on my iPod right now. But, sadly, soundtracks and iTunes don't usually go well together. Next topic?
Gameplay of the game. I thought the gameplay was good. I liked the puzzles, and I also liked the sort of the exploration aspect, although I got lost a lot. What do you think of the gameplay, Adam?
Well...
Okay, wait, bring my girlfriend back!
She's not actually your girlfriend, mate.
Well, bring my friend back who happens to be a girl!
Okay, the gameplay. Well, the gameplay is basically just one puzzle after another. There is very little in ways of, well, anything else. And if you don't have very good perception, you're gonna have a problem with this game. Seriously, because excuse me. Although there are other aspects to the game, like fighting off these
shadowy creatures,
cyclops shadow things, and keeping Yoda safe. It's all platforming and trying to figure out puzzles by just navigating whatever room you happen to be in. And after a while, it does start to tax on your mind. There are points where you literally think, is this an MC Escher painting, or am I actually just losing my mind? But, yeah, it works. It's what the game's designed to be, a huge labyrinth with lots and lots of puzzles, and you've got to sort them out. And, well, good luck.
Good stuff about the game. My good things were story, cutscenes, gameplay, the fantastic puzzles, the castle itself, the bosses, and the different weapons you get. And then what were your good things?
There's only one boss in the game, mate.
I know, but she's still a good boss.
Oh, let's see. What have I written down? I don't know. I don't usually work with scripts, but when I do, I tend to rely on them. The characters. Let's face it. You got the young innocent boy who's just trying to do what he can. He's trying to
come on, climb on the crate. Climb on the crate.
Try moving above the crate, so she can actually.
Come on.
Yeah, that's another thing about this game. If you aren't positioned right, she will misinterpret your intentions and usually ignore you. Yeah, he's basically a kid trying to play the hero, and it's quite heartwarming that, well, he tries his best, and sometimes it just doesn't work out right for him. He's an innocent child, obviously a smart kid, knows right from wrong, because, well, he's trying to escape, he's found someone in trouble, and obviously you help them. And that's exactly what he's doing, so good luck to the guy. As for Yoda, well, there's not much to say about Yoda. She's a mystery, and up until about the halfway point, but that's going into spoiler territory. She is just another prisoner who's stuck here. She's helpless. She really can't think for herself. She can communicate, but it's in this hieroglyphic language that no one can understand.
Bernie!
I think you just almost killed yourself there, mate. And she has literally no means of defending herself. So this tends to be a kind of extended escort mission. Not exactly, very good.
Don't you dare even think about it, Mr. Birdie.
Yeah, escort mission is not exactly a favourite mechanic in, computer games, but hey, when you make the whole game revolve around the escort mission, it can work, and this is a prime example. That's other good stuff. The level itself, level design. Now I say levels, but really it's just one big level. It is literally this one castle is I want to say seamless, but it's not seamless. But it seems seamless.
There are different areas to the castle, Adam. I suppose you could count those as levels. There are different areas to this place, so same levels isn't really a bad description because there's different areas, and each area could be counted as a level.
I'll go with areas then. Different areas to the. I don't really think I can call it a castle. It's a prison, a labyrinth. I don't really know what it is. There's no map to this place. What else we got? What can I say? The ending can be pretty tear-jerking. Actually, it's not exactly the ending you expect, and it kind of works.
When I first saw it, I almost missed something, and Adam actually had to point it out to me.
Well, let's not go into that. That's spoiler territory, and we don't want to go there.
Well, I'm not going to spoil, but the ending in some ways can be confusing because of the way the game tries to tell a story.
Well, the ending is sad, but it works. My God, it works. And with that song in the background over the credits, while the ending is playing out, it is just one of the best things I've ever encountered in a PS2 game. And also my final thing which I absolutely love about this game, Wom wom wom, he has a lightsaber in it!
Well, but I eventually get the lightsaber.
Second playthrough material, but it's still got a freaking lightsaber in it!
Just a few things. If you're playing the PS3 version, you will have trophies to collect. There aren't that many trophies, but it does add a bit more replay value to the game.
Well, I think just the fact that you can get a lightsaber in your second playthrough, and also in your second playthrough you can understand what Yoda's saying to you.
Yeah, that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, in the second playthrough she no longer speaks in the hieroglyphics.
Also, in the second playthrough, you can actually plug a second controller in and actually have someone play as Yoda.
Can't you do that in the first playthrough, or is that second playthrough only?
Second playthrough only.
I don't think it was in the PS2 version. So yeah, if you want optional multiplayer for you guys. If you want a second player, even though player 2 is playing Yoda and can't really do much other than, well, run away from the monsters and try to make combat easier for you, then, well, go for it. Oh yeah, also Yoda is slow as hell when it comes to ladders. There's just one bit, in fact there's 2 bits in the game where there's really fucking high ladders and it takes fucking years to get to it. Carry on.
Right, YouTube, that's all the gameplay I'm going to show. Now to my complaints. Okay, our complaints about Ico. Well, this doesn't always happen, but me and Adam I actually chosen all the same complaints, which is kind of bizarre because we usually have different opinions on games.
Yeah, we have quite a very wide difference in our opinions of games, but on this occasion, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that there are natural flaws in the game, and well, we can't really avoid them.
Complaint number 1 is the combat. As I said in the review, if you play something like Zelda and you're trying to figure out this game, if you're trying to play this game as if you were playing as Zelda, it's obviously not going to work like that. The game is very simple in terms of combat. You hit something, it falls down, it gets back up. Or you can hit something whilst jumping. It's just very simple. It doesn't really feel like it was very well developed.
Yeah, there's a reason why it's not well developed. I said this before. The combat is utter shite. I will gladly admit that, and it's not one of the game's major good points. In fact, I think the combat does actually drag the whole thing down slightly, but it's justified in the simple fact that you are playing a child who doesn't really understand the basics of combat.
Good point. Our second complaint is platforming. The jumping in Ico is weird. If you want to jump forward, you can pretty much do the world's longest jump like they do in the Olympics. But if you want to jump straight up, it's
like half a foot.
It's very accurate to real life. And
yes, Ico will happily launch himself forward about 3 or 4 meters, but when it comes to jumping straight up, he'll get about maybe a foot and a half off the ground and just fall. So I don't know. It's a combination of realistic vertical jumping and sort of moon logic lateral jumping. There you go.
It can make platforming incredibly difficult when it comes to thinking how far do I need to jump in order to make this.
To be honest, after a while of playing, you tend to get used to it, and you can, after a bit of practice, sort of easily work out what type of jump you need for which platform. But yeah, if you're used to consistent things like, Mario, he can jump 3 times his own height and as far as he fucking likes. Or if you're more realistic gamer,
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Lara Croft can only really jump far forward when she's at a sprint, and like I say, she can jump upwards like 2 or 3 feet. That's pretty good for a human. But Ico, he tends to alternate between moon logic and normal jumping.
Our third complaint is navigation. Now, this is more my complaint than his, because as you've seen in my Let's Plays, my sense of direction is debatable depending on which game I'm playing.
How he navigates his own home is a mystery to me.
In Ico, my navigation pretty much gets thrown out the window. I get lost quite a lot, and there are some points in the game where you have to backtrack, and most time when I have to backtrack in this game, I forget where I have to backtrack to, and in some way I wish the game had a map, but added to the game can't have a map with a labyrinth, so maybe if I had
you can't plan out a labyrinth, a multi-layered labyrinth that with areas that overlap and intertwine. The map would be so complex and convoluted you'd never be able to work it out.
Maybe if the game had like a compass. Okay, compass wouldn't really help that much because
no, it wouldn't at all.
A compass wouldn't really help that much because if the arrow points to go forward and the forward actually a wall, yeah, that would be a problem. But I just wish there was an easier way to navigate the game rather than getting lost all the time.
Like I say, it's more his complaint because of his complete lack of spatial navigation. Personally, I didn't really find navigating the place that difficult because, well, I drive for a living, so a good navigation skills is part of my job. It's something I've developed over the years. Not boasting or anything, it's just how I am. But I honestly didn't find navigating in this game truly that difficult. Don't get me wrong, the game is a labyrinth. It's designed for you to get lost. So if you're gonna play it, don't be upset if you get lost, because that is part of the game. The only bit of the platforming that really pissed me off to the nth degree was that friggin' windmill.
Oh god, don't mention the windmill. I'm still in nightmares about that.
I'm going to mention the bloody windmill. Basically, it's just this open field next to a cliff. You've got a windmill sat on a small island in this pond. Now, the whole idea of that pond is because, well, you're going to fall off this fucking thing a lot, and you want something soft to land on, or else you will instantly die. The idea is to climb up the side of the windmill, and while you're on sort of the top of the base, then you're supposed to jump onto the sails that are spinning round, then quickly navigate your way to the end of the sail before the sail reaches the top and you fall off. So you're sort of teetering on the corner for just a fraction of a second. If you stay there for a bit too long, you're going to fall off. If you go there too early, you fall off. Oh my god, that took me ages, but that is the one and only bit of the platforming that truly pissed me off. And all the time, Yoda is sat there playing with the fucking pigeons and not helping me in the slightest.
So there are 3 complaints of the game: navigation, platforming, and the combat. Would I recommend Ico? Yes, I would. If you like adventure games, if you like puzzle solving,
if you like escort quests,
it's a really good game, and I would definitely recommend it. Adam, would you recommend Ico?
Would I recommend Ico? Now it depends. If you're into games that are heavy on action, no, I wouldn't. If you're a type of gamer who wants to explore, yes, I would. If you don't like puzzles, no, definitely not.
Yeah, you guys who play Call of Duty, you don't like to think too much, stay away from this one.
Yeah, fucking. It's a realistic game. Do you shoot people and money falls out? It's not realistic. Anyway, this game is it's a niche market. It does have it's designed for a Japanese audience, and really, if you're not into the, I won't say role-playing, but I want to say role-playing. It's got nothing to do with role-playing, but you get so involved with these characters that it feels like a role-playing game. You actually want to see these guys get through, and it's a hard, long, drawn-out struggle to get them through. And if that doesn't sound interesting to you, I would not recommend it. But if you are willing to put up with all its flaws and the bad combat and the unforgiving nature of the labyrinth you have to navigate, then go for it. You won't be disappointed.
Our rating for this game is exactly the same. Adam get a 4 out of 5, I get a 4 out of 5.
I've knocked it down from 5 out of 5 because of that friggin' windmill. That one bit of the entire game knocked it down a full point, and well, it just took too long to navigate, even for me.
Our next review will be the other game on this collection, Shadow Colossus. And yes, Adam will be returning.
Sort of the spiritual prequel to Ico. There's a reason for that, and we may get into it, but it is bordering on spoiler territory, so probably not.
See you next time, YouTube.
See you around, guys.